There she's back in now.
I'm back. I was clicking around too much. Sorry about that. Too many things going at once, trying to take notes and check Zoom. So there you go. Now that part definitely will not be in the recording because we just started a new recording. Okay. What in the world? There. Okay. Well, the clock just bonged here on campus. So that means it is 3 o'clock. So let me minimize my screen here so I can take notes and facilitate. And nobody else except Carrie and Stacy, who are presenting, are on from the innovation team. I guess I'll take notes again then. Okay. Let's get rolling. I'm Becky Koch. I'm the Ag Communication Director and one of the members of the NDSU Extension Innovation Team. Stacy Wang is on the team. Carrie Johnson is on the team. I think that's it of people who are on. So where are those slackers? Stacy and Carrie? No, I'm just teasing. But we're really glad to have you join this Innovation Coffee Break. This I think will be a fun one because about a year and a half ago, if I have my timing right, somebody can correct me if I'm wrong, the program leaders offered to invest in some innovative programming. And so they had a grant process and 7 grants were, or 7 projects were selected for funding. I think 1 had a problem and wasn't able to complete, but the way I understand it, 6 projects were completed. And so 3 of those groups will share today what they've done. And then for the next Innovation Coffee Break, which I need to confirm the dates on those, we'll hear from some more. So today we're going to hear from Nikki and Stacy and Carrie about their adulting project, and from Caroline about the 4-H marketing videos, and from Kim about the Parent and Family Resource Center. I always have to remember to say the new correct full name, some various innovative things they've done there. So we're just going to take it away and let the adulting team spend a maximum of 10 minutes. That needs to include questions, discussion, everything, but they'll give us an overview. And if you have questions, we're a nice casual group. Go ahead and throw out your questions or type them in the chat, whatever works for you. So take it away, Nikki, Carrie, and Stacy.
All right, thank you, Becky. Can everybody hear me?
Yes.
I apologize. I'm doing this from home, not feeling well today, but we received funding for our adulting project, and the funding was really to test some peer education and train peer educators in #adulting to see how that delivery mechanism was different than the 3 of us going into a residential hall and doing the program ourselves. We were able to train 6 peer educators last spring. Those 6 peer educators were then able to reach 106 additional college students at NDSU. So we were very happy for that they actually reached more than we did. We also held a spring pop-up event in between the Memorial Union and the STEM Center. So with that, we reached an additional 274 college students at NDSU. There were 6 tables and booths set up where that were interactive. Kim actually helped us with that one. She was our adultiest adult that day, so we thank her for that. And then also those peer educators set up contact tables in the Memorial Union throughout the year, and they reached an additional 70 students doing that. So we wanted to share some of the impacts and with you today. So again, and then we also talked about the extension agents that were trained at fall conference, 31 FACS teachers, and again, our 6 peer educators, but really focusing on those peer educators for this project. Total people reached were 616 participants, 450 total by peer educators. And we were able to build some partnerships and collaborations from off campus as well. So that was really nice, especially for our spring pop-up. We had some donations besides the grant money. So that was great. And then social media was a big part of, is still a big part of the adulting program. And you can see with our reach and engagement on our platforms. So confidence, participants who completed evaluations, 70% were confident or very confident in their ability to launder clothes after one of our lessons. 73% were confident or very confident in their ability to safely make snacks, a healthy snack, not just a snack, because anybody can open a candy bar, right? 58% were more confident with their ability to create a budget and track their income and expenses. And then finally, 60% were confident that they could find a property that fit within their budget. So again, that was a very quick overview, but we wanted to open it up to questions from those of you on today.
Are you guys making this program for high school students too? Was that brought up once?
Yeah, it can be used for juniors to seniors, and then that freshman, sophomore level college student.
So yeah, we're really looking at that young adult, emerging adult. We've had some individuals from other states who are in 4-H and youth development look at it and they were like, oh, there's not enough education piece in it, but that's because people of this age should know a lot of that background information. So it is more for the older high school students. And we've done some activities with high school juniors and seniors as well.
So is it written up as kind of a packaged program? You said you've trained some agents, so has it been used in a county yet?
Caroline, you've used some of it in the past, I believe. But there are 6 lessons. It's not like a consecutive 6-lesson program, but there's 6 kind of take and go lessons that can be used.
It was really easy for me to put it into play, and I used it with high school seniors, and they had a lot of fun. We did the laundry activity, and even the adults that were part of it learned something. I learned something about how to remove stains.
I learned something when we wrote the lesson, or when we were doing the research on it. Chalk really does get out oil stains or grease stains. So if you spill all over your colored pants, a little bit of white chalk does wonders.
And I believe, Caroline, you used it in conjunction with another event you had, so it was just a piece of that. So it doesn't have to, again, it doesn't have to be a series of lessons. You can take a piece of it and use it somewhere else.
I know Amy Ellinger from Dickey County used it too. And Danielle might know more about that than I do, but she liked it, I know.
So this was an innovation grant. What do you guys think was the most innovative part of #adulting?
Probably training the peer educators to lead the program itself.
And we should say our peer educators, 5 of them were FACS education majors and 1 was an ag education major student. So they got a little practice teaching something, but they were all great to work with, and we made them actually do the program first, go through it, and then they actually found the groups to go, some went into a sorority, which was someplace we might not be able to get into. So watching them just kind of take off and go with it was great.
So did they get money or credit or just brownie points or?
We paid them with the grant funds. So every time they did an activity, it was like a stipend. So it wasn't hourly. So they got a little bit. And we did have one student that we paid, we asked to create videos. He was able to create one laundry video and it was great. And he also received funding every time he made a video. So we got one out of it. But
I will say though, I think the spring pop-up was probably one of the more fun events and maybe a little bit unexpected with the success. I think we had originally planned for 100 people. Am I right on that, Stacy and Carrie? And we
yes.
ended up with like 270 some students that came through. And what was nice about it wasn't like your typical, you kind of see somebody for a minute and a half, they grab their prize and go. They actually had activities that they needed to complete that they were able to gain some knowledge on, like the laundry or sun safety or physical activity. And because there were 6 different booths, we got a nice little chunk of time with each of those 270 students.
I think the booth, I was surprised that some people like was the generic foods versus the name brand foods, and they actually won the groceries, whoever was the closest. So that was kind of fun.
That game was highly successful. People were getting competitive and trying to pick the right prices. So it was pretty fun.
Super. Well, thank you very much, adulting group, for sharing that. If you have any more questions, we can wrap up here at the end too, but I want to make sure we get all 3 groups in. So again, if you think of more questions, we won't cut off, but we try to be done in a half an hour. So let's move on to Caroline and the 4-H marketing videos. Do you want to provide us some overview? And then I think we're going to try to share a clip or 2, right, Caroline?
Yes, I'm going to let Scott share while I talk. The collaborators on our innovation grant are Cindy Clapprich, Susan Millender, Alicia Harstead, and Christina Rittenbach, and myself. Amelia Dahl started with us initially. Sue was sort of the catalyst behind getting this conversation started, but in counties, a lot of us agents were feeling a little overwhelmed with how we could consistently and creatively meet the needs of new 4-H families. What they were telling us is that 4-H is complex, it's overwhelming, and they would choose not to engage in activities because they just didn't know what to expect. And so we developed a series of 4 videos and several POW tunes to help onboard new families and to use Cindy's words, to more nimbly educate them. And our goal is to provide them information when they're ready to receive it. So these videos are on the 4-H webpage. Scott is showing you with this cursor. They're quick links on the right side. And then we had all of these amazingly creative names for the videos, and we put those aside and went very basic to keep it really simple about the content of the video. And our purpose is to, in a short amount of time, to richly describe what 4-H is and how families can participate in 4-H in a way that allows them to get the most out of their experience. One of the things we love about 4-H is you can customize it and it meets the needs of the individual child. And so these videos help show you in a snapshot all the different ways you can approach 4-H. The 4 videos are primarily targeted at adult audiences, but with youth and hands-on activities, so that if parents or caregivers shared them with their children, they'd be engaged. The POW tunes are animated with the intent to appeal to the younger audience. And so we've used youth voices, youth caricatures, and these dig just a little bit deeper into the how-tos of our main contests that we offer at the state level. The overall objective for the videos and the POW tunes is to help agents have a one-stop shop so they can send out these links to families as they need them, as well as to help families who are considering joining 4-H or who would like to learn a little bit more. So we see the use being multifaceted, and we're excited to collect data on who's using them and if they're helpful or not. And we tried very hard to reach a diverse audience. So we're looking forward to see if that objective was met. And I was going to show you about 45 seconds of 2 videos if we have time. Is that okay? All right. So Scott, I will have you play did I lose him? What is 4-H? The first 45 seconds of that.
Sorry about that. I had to click on the box to get that audio to come with it, and now I lost the page. So let me just bring up a new page here quick. I'll find it real quick here.
And while he's doing that, if anybody else from our team would like to add anything, please do so.
Hello, and welcome to North Dakota 4-H, where youth are inspired to reach their full potential. 4-H is a positive youth development program that teaches young people how to contribute to their communities, make healthy choices, and thrive. 4-H uses a learning model as the basis for challenging and fun learning experiences. This model encourages youth to plan their learning experience, do the learning experience, reflect on how it went, and also to have their experience evaluated.
That is very cool. You did a very nice job.
Youth can explore their interests, master new skills, and develop lasting friendships. 4-H grows confident youth who have the skills to lead for a lifetime.
4-H is the youth outreach program.
I'm hungry. What should I eat?
I want some new jeans. What should I buy?
I need a new bike.
I want a cell phone.
I need a backpack.
So many things we need and want to buy, and so many choices and options out there. That means there are lots of buying decisions to be made. 4-H consumer decision making can help.
Right. 4-H consumer decision making gives you a strategy for making objective decisions.
And when we make objective decisions, we are less likely to give in to peer pressure or pressure from advertisers or pushy salespeople. And we are totally prepared to explain our decisions.
The 4-H Consumer Decision Making Contest is the place to practice these skills.
So you can see there's a lot of content in these videos, and so the trick was having them be educational but not overwhelming. And so that was our mission, and Scott worked really hard to help us get there and was amazingly receptive to all of our feedback and revisions. So we really appreciate him on our team as well.
Questions for Caroline and the team. I had looked at these and I forgot how good they were. The kids did a great job narrating them too. I'm impressed. 4-H
They
public
did.
speaking.
Right.
We should point out that most of you were budgeted, wasn't it $7,000 max?
Yes.
But the 4-H project went over that, and Brad agreed that these were important enough organizationally that he chipped in some more money. So just to let you all know that they had some additional funding to get that many done.
Right. Of course, it mushrooms. And when we featured one state contest, we wanted all of the state contests. And we were really grateful for the Center for 4-H's support to produce a quality product, we didn't want to compromise the integrity of the project.
Yeah, in the chat box, there's a question from Carrie, Caroline.
Oh, our team wrote the scripts and many revisions of each script. And they were reviewed by Brad, by specialists, by 4-H parents, by non-4-H families who were potential 4-H families. And it was an incredibly time-consuming process, but I know one weekend Sue and I were like back and forth online, and everybody just put in hours. They are on YouTube. We are directing people to use the 4-H site. And the reason is, maybe one of the most innovative parts of this project is they're timely. We can change out the photos as 4-Hers age, as long as the content doesn't change too much. And so if you access it through the 4-H website, you're seeing the most up-to-date version of the video. Oh, okay. I think eventually they will be on YouTube just for the general user, but for now, we're still perfecting them. I hate to say it, but we are.
So just out of curiosity, so Scott, did he create the videos for you, or did you use your, like, a version of Powtoons to do them yourself?
Nope, Scott created the Powtoons for us. We wrote a storyboard, so we wrote the script and what we wanted to show in each scene, and then he animated it off of that storyboard.
And then in the,
go ahead, Cindy.
Okay, in the videos, that's a combination of photographs that we took, video that we took. Scott came out and did some videoing. It was a big group effort.
When you give the state 4-H office pictures, that's where we use some of our picture or database, if you want to call it. But because that's one thing, I feel like we should have more 4-H pictures, because everybody has 4-H events going on, but sometimes we felt like it was hard finding the right picture.
Yep.
The right picture is the clue. We have lots of pictures of kids standing with ribbons, but what we need are more photos of learning in action. So I challenge everybody on this call to shoot photos of kids at project meetings and club meetings doing things, preferably with a caring adult in the picture too. I'm not picky, am I? And send those to AgCom. That's what we need, those learning pictures. You're right, Alicia. We have gobs and gobs. Even on my own files, I shot pictures at the citizenship weekend years ago, and I've got gobs of pictures of every county group standing there staring at the camera. But I would always forget to take, this is probably before cell phones, my camera to my own club meeting and take pictures of kids giving demonstrations or learning how to do this or their service project and stuff like that. So I challenge everybody on this call to send me photos like that.
There are more questions in the chat too.
Do we have time to answer those questions, Becky? I want to make sure Kim gets
really quick.
Okay, so let's see where we're at. Have these been used on social media for 4-H or counties? So do you mean, has the Center for 4-H sent them out?
Yeah, or even just on a county page if they've shared them. Like,
so
is that?
I think people have. I have. I believe Sue did, but because we're still perfecting them a little bit, we haven't done. This is really our first large reveal, other than that 4-H program planning in December. So my hope is once we get them all loaded, maybe I don't need to wait for that, but I've kind of been just waiting for all of the state specialists to say, they're awesome, you don't need to change anything, and put them out there. An estimate for the cost of one video would have to come from Scott because we got a lump sum bill.
Yeah, and I was going to type in the chat, but there's so many variables to that it's better to almost just give us a call and talk over details, and it's easier to kind of figure it out that way.
And I see Katie has commented, and maybe the videos are mostly, they're done. We were going to tweak one wording issue that Dean caught, but I feel comfortable at this point if the Center for 4-H or if you, Katie, want to send them out on social media. We're ready. I think we need to get those out.
Okay, sounds good.
And we did create a tip sheet for agents, so I'll also send that out to all counties once I talk to Brad and he feels like they're ready to go.
These were somewhat debuted at our fall conference too.
They were.
So maybe if the team wants to kind of develop a calendar so you debut a new one every 2 or 3 weeks or something like that to keep people looking for more.
Sounds good.
Super. Well, if you
Thank
have
you.
additional questions about this project, Caroline is one of the contacts and the others also. So thank you so much for sharing.
Thank you.
Okay, let's switch to our third project now. Kim, if you would describe your project and what all you did.
I will. I'm going to share my screen and let's see. I want you to see the right screen. Do you see my screen? Yes? Okay.
We see a screen.
Okay.
Yes.
And does it say Parent and Family Resource Centers?
It does. It looks like the back end of your PowerPoint.
The back end of my PowerPoint. So you're not seeing the...
It's not in preview mode.
I can't.
It's not in presentation
On
mode.
the
There we
slide
go.
show.
How about that?
Much better.
Okay. All right. All right, so you know who I am, and one part of my job includes supporting the Parent and Family Resource Centers. So we wrote for half of a grant, $3,500, on behalf of the PFRCs as a network. And so we developed, or here are the 6 regions that are currently located. The centers are currently located in 6 regions in North Dakota. So there's a little picture of that. And then this is one of the pieces that it's 1/2 of the pieces that we developed. These are cart cards for kids and food fun for family posters. And so you can utilize the PFRCs rather, utilize the cart cards for kids in grocery stores and food areas in larger marts. You can stick them on the carts and use them individually like that, or they can just be used as the signs. They're the same, the cart cards and the food fun posters are the same content. And the idea was to get some marketing about PFRCs where families go. And we know that they go grocery shopping. And so this way they have an opportunity to, from preschool all the way through to teens, teach some skills in the grocery stores and do it together as a family. So that is one of the pieces 1/2 of the pieces we put together. And then the second part was to have some videos that we could utilize. And what we ended up doing, and Bruce Sundin helped us with these. One of the things we ended up doing is to the first part is the content, so parenting tips for tots through teens, but then the back end of these videos, the last minute or so, is kind of our ad for the PFRCs. So we put 2 together, put them up on our website, and the PFRC coordinators have actually used them with their advisory groups. They have used them with school conferences, you know, when they go to parent-teacher conferences, they've set up there and used them. And so they've gotten some good play. They've also used, once we did the storyboard, as Caroline was talking about, we did a storyboard for these. We realized it was too long, split it in half, and put the little tag at the end of each. But we also showed the PFRCs the storyboard, and they're like, we need that for a lesson. So now they're using that as a lesson as well. So we really got a lot of mileage out of this. I'd like to just show you the very first part and then the last minute so you can see the advertising part of this too. We'll see if this will work. I didn't think to bring somebody to do this for me. Yep. It worked perfectly earlier when I showed it to Jeannie and we practiced, but oh, here we go. You have to pick the one with the button on it, I guess.
Should we have some audio, or is it just me not hearing?
I'm hearing it.
When you click share, there's actually a button you're supposed to click to have the audio be able to come with it. So that could be why.
I don't see another button, Scott.
Yeah, it's way back when you actually initially click the share button. So you just have to stop sharing and then click share again.
Okay.
And yeah, so when you click share again, before you click to start sharing, on the bottom left, there's a little button or a little box to check that says have sound come with video.
Okay, so when I share my screen again?
Yeah, so when you click share from the main Zoom page.
Okay. I didn't see it. Okay.
Are they online? So I want to see the whole thing. So
okay. All right. Yes, they are online. Thank you, Becky. And
yeah,
if
I can find them and put it in the chat quick.
Oh, thank you, Scott. That would be fabulous. And then I'll just roll on through what else we made, and then we'll be done on time. So thank you, Scott. So we also had some refresh on the website, and Kelly and Sonia both helped us kind of get we had the map in a very North Dakota style, all chopped up into counties, and this was a suggestion to kind of do it like this so people would realize that we can be all over the state. We can do this via Ivan or Zoom or Facebook Live. We can do ParentNet in a lot of ways. So we wanted the website to kind of be able to reflect that a little bit better. So we had some work done there. And then we had additionally, we ended up being able to also put together this sort of infographic piece that we've used. I know Kim has used it, Jim has used it for trying to kind of help the counties see the importance of PFRCs. So this has been a very useful piece. I had a summer student who picked up on the Powtoon idea and made 2 more videos. So she put a Home Alone and a 7 Principles of Discipline up for us. And then we also, like I said, made that lesson for the PFRC staff, and they have shared it. So the last thing I just want to share quickly is some feedback that we got, and I'll quickly show you this. We had a school principal, we had parents at a PTO meeting, the coordinators each had a couple of things to share, the grocery store manager, but I wanted to read, that one's up there, you can read simultaneously as I'm reading. This came from another PFRC coordinator, and she said, I recently used the PowerPoint presentation from the lesson created using the video storyboards to give advisory council members a chance to review the type of information and wide range of services we provide. My impression has been that most of the members seem fairly well informed, but that newer members might be less aware of what we offered. After our meeting, I received comments from 5 of the 9 members present about how valuable this lesson/presentation has been in terms of increasing and refreshing their knowledge of our programming. Specific comments included, I had no idea you offered so much for parents. I know a lot of people who would be interested in your service. I thought I understood your role was what your role was at Extension, but your presentation reminded me of what you do and what a great program you have. Your presentation PowerPoint was so well done. The information was wonderful, and so were the photos. What you do is so important for families, parents and families. I wish I would have had these kinds of classes when I raised my children. So I just feel like we really reached a lot of both decision makers and parents being able to do this. And as you noticed on the up here, that because of the person showing it at their advisory first, they were invited to go to school conferences and show the resources and videos for parents right at parent-teacher conferences. So I thought that was really a cool way to use it too. So that's it. And did you put the address in the chat, Scott?
Yeah, the one I just dropped in there goes right to your main page, I think, which has them all listed there.
Yes, yep,
Yeah.
they're all down there on there, so it's just a click. Great, thank you very much. Okay, any questions? I did the really quick version. And I hope you will go in and look at them in their entirety so you can see the little ad at the back end of those videos.
Sue asked if you click on one of the little stars on the map, will the information pop up?
We intended it to do that. I haven't tried it lately, so that would be a good question. Sue, that's your homework. You check that out for us.
I don't see anything working on the
Nothing's
map.
happening there? Okay, we had intended that. They are along the side. The county names are along the side of the map, and if you click on those, they should pop up for sure. I thought we had activated those, but perhaps not.
Kim, this is Stacy. Very intrigued by your grocery cart stuff. Is there any cross promotion with your friends down the hall in the food area?
Well, jump on board the grocery cart, Stacy, of course. What would you like to do?
Well, we can talk.
Perfect.
Kim, how do people access the grocery cart information?
The cart cards or just the information? The cart cards themselves are made out of that heavier plasticky paper and then cut them, so they really have to be produced here. But you would go through your Parent and Family Resource Center to get a hold of those.
How about the other pieces, like the larger print stuff? Are those available anywhere?
Same. They're the same. Yeah, they're just a smaller version and a larger version, and the Parent and Family Resource Centers have all of that stuff because they were the ones that, their marketing is on them to get parents and children to do these learning things together. And so, am I answering your question, Stacy? I feel like I'm building a clock and you asked for the time. So,
I think it would be beneficial if you guys had them out on the website themselves too.
All right, good
Or
suggestion.
available through the distribution center?
Like on Marketplace?
Yeah, they don't have enough money to print. Those are expensive on that kind of paper.
Okay.
But that's pretty much what you have to have at a grocery store. Otherwise, it would just get ruined. But they are expensive.
Okay. And then the other question I have, Kim, is I always think it's kind of hard to find the PFRCs on the website because you have to search for Parent Education Network unless I'm doing something wrong. It's just not an easy to find piece, in my opinion.
And Cindy, I feel the same way, and so I just go on the NDSU extension website and click on our HDFS circle, and then it's right in the bar. That's how I find it too, or Google it. And now Google has gotten complicated because somebody else has taken pen, or it goes to the state pen, which you don't want to see.
But if you would Google on an ag or extension page, if it doesn't come up as first thing, I want to know about that. But yeah, if you go to one of our pages, it should be the first thing to pop up if you type in Parent and Family Resource Center or something like that. I'll do some testing on that. If not, we need to fix that.
Stacy and Kim, would it be possible to have 15 minutes at the spring FCW training to introduce the grocery store thing?
It really is a marketing tool for the parent and family resource centers. I mean, that's the point of it. So I'm not exactly sure. I mean, we can talk about it. We could have, you know, maybe we could magically find money where we could have a few sets there. But it really is to market for the PFRCs, which are a part of all of us. So, you know, I welcome that help, but for sure. And the, you know, we could certainly have it set up again. We did have our little display out for fall conference, and we could do it again for spring.
Okay.
Thank you for that
Would
suggestion.
counties be able to, Kim, I'm just wondering, I know it's a marketing piece for PFRCs, but could counties order and pay for their own cart cards, put them in grocery stores that would then market the PFRC work too?
Yeah, that would be fantastic. That's why I was saying we could put them on Marketplace, and if people wanted to pay for them, they would be able. And I want to say they were like $16 a set. It wasn't totally cost prohibitive. I mean, they're more than regular paper, that's for sure, Becky.
Yeah, expensive.
Okay, these are great suggestions. Thank you, everyone. You've helped further the cause. Thank you, thank you.
And the slave driver here let us go overtime because this was fantastic discussion. Thank you so much. I shouldn't have used that phrase, but the stick to the schedule persons, I was determined we were going to get done in a half an hour. But again, wonderful discussion, good questions, lots of sharing. I kind of thought I knew what was going on with these projects, but I learned a lot. So if you have any other questions, you know who to contact. And maybe we can expand these ideas even further. But I know some of you now probably will use the adulting lessons now that you know more about them. I'm confident that a lot of us are going to be sharing the 4-H videos when they're shared more widely. It sounds like some of you might even be wanting to purchase some of the cart cards. So lots of very creative, innovative ideas. And thank you so very much to our presenters today for sharing them.
Thank you.
You bet. And we'll have another group share theirs in the next Innovation Coffee Break. So thank you, and we'll see you then. Bye.